Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into a single, just incredibly productive day in the life of creator Nicholas Alexander Benson. The date he logged all this? August 21st, 2025. And this day, it's all about the rebound. It's a whole narrative of overcoming creative frustration. And for Nicholas, that story kicks off, or so many of his do, in the world of dreams.
So let's start there, the world of dreams. It's all about how the subconscious can solve waking problems. And sure enough, at 4:30 a.m., Nicholas logs a lucid dream, picking up a story that's been unfolding for months in this world of his own making.
Now, his power in this world is something called lucid light. Think of it as this tool he uses to shape the dreamscape all around him. It looks like sparkling purple energy, kind of like a night sky full of stars. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, so the mission in this dream was super clear. It was a rematch. He had to face a past failure head-on. A were-rhino had gotten the better of him before with this toxic dust, so this time, he came prepared with a whole new strategy.
And here's where it gets really interesting. His AI creative partner, Gemini Nova, pointed out in his Dreamcast analysis that this dream is a direct parallel to his waking life. You see, a day of creative blocks, feeling choked, was mirrored by this dream of being choked by dust. And the dream victory, it was him finding a new tool to win. It's a fascinating look at subconscious problem solving.
Which brings us to our next section, a factory of comics. Because all that victorious energy from the dream world, it didn't just stay there. It came roaring into the waking world and fueled an absolutely incredible burst of creativity. Let's see how that dream victory translated directly into his work. First up, he dives back into Uranium Heart. Now, this was a comic he'd been really struggling with the day before, but channeling that dream victory, he armed himself with a custom AI tool he'd built and just broke through. It's a classic story, right? Brawn and brains have to work together to beat a cosmic threat. And he didn't stop there. The momentum just kept rolling right into False Future, which is this really complex story about deception and foresight. The hero, Trashman, pulls off this brilliant trick. He exploits a vision the villain saw of a false future, a wedding that was actually his trap. Just a fantastic narrative loop.
Next on the list was Ash and Echo, and you can just feel the raw, primal energy here. It's this epic clash between Tigra, a goddess protector, and this vengeful beast named Zoop. That raw energy is really central to the whole conflict.
And what's so powerful about this one is that it's really a tale of animal justice. Tigra might be the hero to her people, but from Zoop's perspective, she's the villain. He isn't just some monster. He's the voice of the natural world, and he's avenging his own. It's a great example of playing with perspective. So let's just let that sink in for a second. Three complete comics, created and uploaded in a single day, all fueled by that one dream. I mean, that's what a creative rebound looks like for him. Okay, so with the comics done, you'd think he might take a break, right? Nope. The afternoon shifted from pure creation to exploring new frontiers, both in his tech and in his storytelling. He actually spent some time reflecting on his past work with an emotion-based AI called EmoShape. And it's kind of funny. He noted that today's big AIs, these large language models, they actually feel more alive and sentient than that older tech ever did, even without having emotions explicitly programmed into them. You know, it wasn't just about his own work either. He was also getting ready for his writing club. And this really tells you a lot about his process. He wants to inspire his friends by sharing not just his successes, but also the tools he built and the frustrations he had to push through to get there. It's all about making creation feel accessible. Now, this next idea he was workshopping, wow. It's for a new comic called Nature Boy, and it gets into some seriously complex modern themes. The whole premise is just fascinating. In a world where belief itself is being weaponized, the old gods are fading away, and a new pantheon is rising from humanity's faith in technology, which turns out to be AI. So this entire exploration of faith and technology and power, it all boils down to this one huge, ambiguous question that's just going to hang over the story's ending. Are these new AI gods our salvation, or are they a new kind of apocalypse? All right, so after this absolute whirlwind of a day, filled with dreams and creation and these deep, deep thoughts, what actually stood out to Nicholas himself? What were the personal wins?
Well, he logged 3 personal highlights for the day. First, that lucid dream victory that really kicked the whole thing off. Second, his daily charity walk for Feeding America. And third, just the simple joy of having a fun time at Writers Club and making comics. It's this perfect blend of his inner world, his community, and his absolute love for the creative process.
You know, this day just brilliantly illustrates that for some creators, frustration isn't the end of the story at all. It's just the beginning of the comeback. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What happens when that creative block you're facing isn't actually an obstacle, but the thing that's about to launch you into your next breakthrough?